Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day of Fairycember. Today is day 2 and the theme for today's drawing is moon. So the first drawing that I did, the theme was sun, and if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out because I explained what Fairycember is in that video. And you kind of want to see what the sun character is so you can understand what the moon character is. So after I'd finished sketching the sun character, I right away wanted to sketch the moon character, and I did a rough sketch of her, but it was one of those weird days where it's like I had no problem sketching the sun character, but then as soon as I started sketching the moon character, all of my proportions were off and I just couldn't draw anything right. I was getting really frustrated. So I ended up deciding to just take the sun character and trace her like body positioning onto another piece of paper so I can start off with a good solid foundation for the moon character, because the sun and moon are usually depicted as opposites. I also wanted to do that as well. The sun character is like one of the top fairies. She's very powerful. She has like different wings, and I wanted the moon to be the same. She'd be like, you know, the partner fairy. She's like not the second, but she's like, you know, they're both the tops. They're like opposite sides. They, you know, that kind of thing. They're both super powerful. They're both top fairies. And I wanted them to have similar wings and similar poses. My original idea was that the moon fairy would have her ankle crossed on the opposite way as the sun fairy, which in the end I actually changed that because I didn't quite like the way it looked in the end. But otherwise I wanted everything to be really similar. I wanted their outfits to be similar, and I wanted just only difference in her hand positioning and her jewelry, that kind of thing, and of course her hair. As I started sketching this one though, she changed quite a bit. During the inking process especially, I just started to think maybe her hair could be a little bit nicer, so I added a little bit more to her hair. And I really started second guessing her dress because the skirt part on the sun character didn't go the way I wanted. I actually originally created the skirt in Procreate and it looked cute there, but then when I actually, you know, put the detail in, it didn't come out quite as I wanted in the first drawing. So I decided to change it up for the second drawing. Instead, I was thinking of a cute high-low skirt, and it's something that I was thinking of from a drawing I did a couple years ago. I'll leave a link in the iCard to what I'm talking about. During Inktober, I did like a vampire princess girl, and she had a similar skirt. And in that skirt, the under part of the skirt, I had made like a dark blue, and I put little sparkles in with a gel, like a sparkle pen. So I was thinking that could kind of work for this one too, because I could use a white gel pen instead and do little glitter to be like stars under her skirt to really bring home like the sky, stars, moon, so that she really represents like the night and the moon and all of that. I also changed up her leg positioning because I didn't quite like the cross legs in the end. I kept messing with it a bit, and then I just decided to give her a completely different leg positioning, but I think it kind of worked, especially with the skirt, so I thought it looked pretty cute. When it came to the coloring, I definitely wanted to have a dark blue in her wings. Honestly, this character, I wanted to have a dark blue on everything. So I had a hard time just trying to like limit what could be dark blue, not go a little too over crazy with it. So I ended up picking a purple for her hair, and I struggled with this one a lot because I spent a long time picking the exact blues and the exact purple. The other colors that I wanted too, and when I put them on the paper they looked really great together, but then when I started coloring with them, it just occurred to me, and this is something that's been occurring to me a lot more often recently, that the tonal value is too close to each other. And I feel like because the tonal value is similar, it looks good together, but it's also harder to read the drawing from afar. So I do kind of want to remind myself in future drawings to push myself for a wider tonal value, to keep, is tonal even the right thing? I think I'm trying to say value. The value of the colors is too similar. Wow. The words are not coming out right today, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm worried that they're all too dark on dark on dark. So it's something that I'm just going to try to keep note of in the future, and I do try to push it out a little bit more later by adding highlights to the hair and shadows to the wings so that there is some kind of pushed back so you can see the difference between the colors, but it is something I worried about, especially with this one. And I even wanted to put a dark color on her leggings, but I told myself to kind of bring in something different, so I ended up using like a silver color because I did want blue and silver for this character. And at first I was really worried that it would not work, but when I put it down, it looked fine, so I was really happy with that. I did have a pretty big disaster with this drawing though. I've been feeling a little bit frustrated with my Copic markers recently, and this was one of the first examples of that. But I think I almost finished the drawing. I had everything done and I wanted to add a bit more shadow to the skirt, and it'll come up in a bit, so I'm just kind of explaining it, but you'll see it in a bit. So I wanted to add a little bit more shadow to the skirt. I used an even darker blue color to get the shadow, and then when I stepped back, I thought to myself, does that look a little shiny? And that's the first indication of a problem when you have Copic markers, okay? If your marker looks shiny, you have a problem. So when I touched it, of course, it's sticky, and that's like the worst. I have a video where I explain how to fix this, so I'll leave it in the iCard if you ever have this problem. But it was a problem. So I think I tried to go over it with the first color, and of course that just made everything worse. So I went over kind of as a last ditch, oh well, this drawing's ruined, with my colorless blender, and I just kept like coloring or taking off the color and rubbing it on another paper, and taking off the color and rubbing it on another paper, and luckily that worked. I got all of the shading off, but of course it took some of the other color off, and the marker started to spread on the paper a little bit, so her cute little like moon waist necklace what is it called her cute little moon belt got all fuzzy and like covered up, so I had to come back in with a gel pen later to fix that. And I let it dry for a while just to make sure that the marker wouldn't spread anymore and ruin the edges of the skirt, and then went over it with one more layer of marker, the original color, and then I just went and took out my color pencils and tried to rescue it that way. So the color pencils just smoothed everything out, add a little bit of shadow, and I was able to rescue it. I was pretty happy with that. I thought for sure I'd have to start over, so I was really happy when I was able to rescue the drawing. That always makes me really happy when I'm able to fix a problem and it looks okay in the end. Like, that's the best feeling. But markers, why do you do this? Why all of my darker colors tend to have this problem? I don't know why it happens with only darker colors, but maybe it's because I use them a lot. I don't know. I'm not sure if I've used this marker for a while, but it is so frustrating when that happens, and it's just so annoying. I went over like little highlights, like her little jewelries, with a silver gel pen and a white gel pen, and then I add lots of little cute little stars and sparkles to her skirt and underskirt with a white gel pen. And I've been using the Uniball Signo gel pen again. I used to hate this pen. I used to really hate this one. My last one always gave me trouble, so I never understood why other artists were suddenly like talking about how it's the best gel pen, especially since I had already been using it for a long time before I saw anybody talking about it. But I think it's just maybe I had a bad one. I think it was probably fine when I first started using it, and then it just got kind of icky. But that's how gel pens are anyway, really. But I found that since I started using it again, I got a good one, and it's been really helpful. But I find that I need my Sakura gel pen as well, because this Uniball Signo is just, it's too fat and it's too bright. So I like to put a little bit of variation of like brightness when I do the little stars. So I will often use a little bit of color pencil for the really light whites and the Sakura gel pen for little smaller dots, and then the Uniball Signo for the really bright little dots. So that is my moon fairy. I really hope you like her, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know you liked it, and leave a comment below. It really helps me when you do that, so you know YouTube knows that you like this type of video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when the next one is coming out. It'll be coming out really soon, so definitely keep checking back. And if you don't get notifications well on YouTube, then definitely follow me on Instagram. My Instagram stories, I always post when there's a new video, so you'll definitely see it that way for sure. there. Also, all the Fairycember stuff is happening on Instagram, so definitely check that out. The link is in the description below. And I want to say a huge thank you to my berries on Patreon for supporting me and making these videos happen. I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much for the support. And if you want to join the berry army, I think, was that the one we had decided on? I can't remember already. Then definitely check out the link in the description below and join us. We'd love you to have you. Yeah, those are the words. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you.